Hello vlog, long time no see. Just kidding, it hasn't been that long. I'm excited, I'm doing another sit down video. I was in one of my classes and I had a breath of inspiration, and so I grabbed my notebook and I wrote down some things. I just shook the table, my apologies. Anyways, so I got to thinking how it's kind of like my last year of college, and I feel like I learned a lot as a person in college, and I kind of wanted to write down some of the key things that I've learned. So if you're nervous, you're like going to college, whatever, and you want some like helpful tips or maybe words of wisdom, not to say I'm smart or have a lot of wisdom, I mean I'm only 20 years old, but I do feel like I've learned things through my experience here that I want to share and maybe make you guys feel better, maybe give you guys some things to think about as you're entering college or entering whatever part of your life. Like, this applies I think to a lot of people. It's just different lessons I've learned through my experience in college. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I have my notebook. Okay, so I kind of wrote it as like, these are things I would tell my younger self if I could like go back and be like, these are things I want you to focus on the next few years. This is what I would say. So number one, stop giving 110% to things that don't require that much energy, and instead learn to prioritize your mental health, your physical health, and you know, your well-being in school better, rather than just have this skew toward like school all the time. I kind of saw a TikTok about this, and basically it's just, you know, certain assignments, say like a project that's worth 20% of your grade. Yeah, you're gonna need to put a lot of time, a lot of effort into that assignment. But something like a discussion post or reading for the week or something like that, like you do not need to pour for hours over something like that if you have other things to do. Like, you need to learn to prioritize your things, put the most important things on top. And I'm not saying this is like, oh, like, you know, slack off, don't do this. Like, that's not my point. My point is you're going to have more things to do than you have time available. So because of that, you need to learn to prioritize things. And this is gonna happen in your career too, so it's better to learn it now rather than later. And in high school, I could not take getting a lower grade. Like, I could not handle it. I was the type of person who got mad if I got a 95 instead of 100. Like, that's the kind of person I was, and I've changed a lot since then. I'm still like, obviously I want A's, but if I get a 93, like I'm very happy about that. So it's just like a different mentality, and instead focus on, you know, prioritizing your time a little bit better. Number two, stop thinking you can change a person or make them care. Seriously, stop it. You cannot do it. It's not going to happen. If someone wants to care about you, wants you in their life, they are going to do it. You cannot change their mind. No matter what you do, no matter how good of a person you are, it will not change who they are. Like, everyone's going through their own thing. All you can do is be a nice person, but at the end of the day, like, if they don't want you in their life, then that's kind of their problem. So number three, getting a B isn't the end of the world. Kind of going along with one. I had a really hard class last year where I got a B+, and I was pretty upset at first, but now like my GPA is perfectly fine and very good, and I've learned to just get over it because you can't change anything. Like, there's no point in getting really upset about it and getting mad at yourself if you know that you tried the hardest you could. Okay, let it go. Just try better next time, you know, or I don't even know. It's just like, you can't do anything about it. Like, life is too short to get mad over that kind of stuff. And yeah, like, I get it. Like, I want to go to law school where GPA is super important, but I'm not gonna get myself all upset over something that's out of my control at that point. Like, a grade is a grade, it's over. Like, you can't change it, so move on from it, if that makes sense. Number four, I tell my friends this whenever they go on dates. I've been on a lot of first dates, not a lot of second dates. I feel like for a lot of first dates especially, they're like, I want to make sure that they like me, like I need to dress super perfect, I need to make sure this and that and that. But I say focus more on if you like them versus if they'll like you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. And why would you want someone who doesn't like you for the person that you naturally are? So I focus on this when I go into dates. I'm like, if this person doesn't like me for who I am as an individual, or likes me with no makeup on or in sweatpants or whatever, like, they're not someone I want in my life. And I get, like, it's a first impression thing for sure. Going in with the mentality of, do I even like them? You know, versus like, oh my god, are they gonna like me, blah, blah, blah. I think that mentality really has helped me a lot in the dating world. Not that I've had a successful relationship, but anyways. Number five, cut off toxic people and don't feel bad about it. Literally, that's it. If someone is causing you to be constantly upset, constantly anxious or stressed, that is your body trying to communicate that person is not supposed to be in your life, and literally cut them off. Don't feel bad about it. You do not owe anyone anything, and if someone is being a bad person to you, leaving you out, making you feel really crappy about yourself, you do not have to talk to them. It does not matter if they are family, friends, anything. Like, if someone is doing that to you and making you feel bad, cut them off. Like, end of story. Number 6, say yes to traveling as much as you possibly can. It doesn't matter if it's a day trip, hiking 2 hours away, or if it's across the world in Europe. Like, it does not matter. Say yes as much as you financially can, because it is so worth it. Like, I'm using my hands a lot. But seriously, traveling is such a game changer and changes your mentality so much. Especially if you can travel alone. It teaches you so much about yourself, it creates so much trust in yourself, and it's such an amazing experience. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to travel so much lately. I just love all the memories I've made on all the trips, and I've met so many cool people, tried so many cool foods, and just had so many different experiences that I never would have had back in Maine or here, so I just recommend that. 7, focus on forming strong relationships and friendships in college, because they will lead to jobs later. All of the jobs I've had, well, besides the one in high school, but all of the other jobs I've had have just been from knowing people, networking, like meeting people offering me a job, hearing about me doing this, that. Like, prioritizing school and your grades is obviously so important. I mean, I get this depends probably to like what direction you're going in, but especially for business. If you're like a really likable person with a good work ethic, you're gonna probably go far. If you make a lot of friends, especially like in college where then everyone's gonna end up across the country, if you're going to look for a job in an area, you can reach out, they'll help you out typically. Like, it's so beneficial. I think a lot of people focus so much on school and college, which is super important. You also have to think about your people skills and how those are developing and forming a network of connections, because it really does make a difference going forward. Number 8, never go back to the same person twice. This applies in relationships, friendships. If someone does you wrong or makes it clear that they don't want you in their life, stop going back to that person. I know it's really hard, but it's something I've learned, because if they don't want you the first time, they're not gonna want you the second time, and it's not gonna benefit you at all, and you're gonna lose all the growth you made over that period. Like, stop relying on the same people who made you feel crappy and just instead find new people. I know that's scary, like, trust me, it's hard sometimes making friends, putting yourself out there, but it is way better than the feeling of going back to someone who made you feel terrible about yourself. Don't do it. Like, cut them off. It's not gonna happen. Don't go back. Number 9, I don't say this to scare you, but your body is going to change, and that's okay and a good thing. I think there's this huge thing, like, I realize, like, I'll look back at photos of myself, and granted, like, I have gone into lifting, which has changed my body dramatically, but in high school, weighed a certain amount, looked a certain way, and now I look, in my opinion, very different, and I've gained 20 pounds. Like, I'm developing from a teenager to a young woman, and it's gonna come with changes in your body. That's just naturally what happens, and hormones change, people change, like, it is what it is. Like, your lifestyle changes, and it's hard because you want to look back at photos and be like, oh, I wish I looked like that still, I was this, I was that, and I get it, trust me, like, especially with my skin, I struggle a lot, but it's important to realize, like, it's just a sign of you aging, becoming wiser, becoming more mature, and it's not a bad thing. So that's probably going to happen, and it's nothing to be scared of. It can be good. It's a good thing. So, number 10, make sure to call your friends and family, like, back home. I call my mom, okay, if she's watching this, hi mom, but I call her so much. I call my mom like every single day, and I see like videos online of like moms like, oh, I wish my child in college would call me. Well, I call my mom so much that I think it irritates her, and my sister. Like, they are my best friends in this entire planet. And I call them all the time about just, like, I miss them. I'm like, Mom, I just want to hear your voice. But seriously, like, you just never know what's gonna happen, and not to like get sad about this, but you just never know. And your family is always, hopefully, if you have a good relationship with your family, like, your family are the people who are gonna be there for you when times get hard, when people are mean, like when you don't get the job you wanted, like, they're gonna be the ones who help support you, and you don't want to completely deteriorate that relationship while you're in college because you're just so focused on other things. Like, always take 5 minutes to call your family at least once a week and check in. Like, I promise you, it's so worth it, and I think it'd definitely be something you regret not doing. So, I mean, maybe you don't have to go to the excess that like I do, but definitely check in sometimes. Okay, I actually have 11 instead of 10, but this one came recently, but this is compliment people, like random strangers. This is something like I've recently started doing, not that I didn't compliment people before, I've always gotten nervous like walking up to new people and talking to them, so I kind of would like mentally say compliments in my head. I'd be like, oh my god, her shoes are amazing, or I love her coat, I love her hair, like things like that. It would never say it out loud, but then I've been like seeing videos and stuff, and it's kind of inspired me to say them out loud to people. The reactions of people are so like nice. Like if you compliment someone's jacket or something, they're like, oh my god, thank you, or like their outfit. It literally makes people's day. And I've thought about it on the flip side, like anytime someone compliments me, I think about it for a super long time after, and I'm like, wow, that person was so nice. So if you can have that effect on another person, like imagine the ripple effect that can have. And so every time I like think of something now in public, I just say it to the person. Like I don't double think it, because are they gonna get mad at me for complimenting them? No, like you're being a nice person. It costs you nothing to be a nice person, and it'll make you feel good, it'll make the other person feel good, so I think it's so worth it. But that's just something to think about. Okay, so that was basically all I wanted to say in this video. Just some little pieces of advice, things I have for you guys to think of. So yeah, I'm gonna probably be doing a vlog next, so make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!